What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I have another Fallout discussion that I wanted to go over with you guys, and in today's video I actually want to talk about whether or not I think Fallout 4's Far Harbor DLC is actually better than the original Fallout game, Fallout 4 game. So this has been a huge discussion among people for a very, very long time. Fallout 4, it is my favorite ever game, for those of you who didn't know. Now, look, I know that a lot of people have Fallout New Vegas over it. I know some people have Fallout 3 over it. I still think Fallout 4 is over Fallout 3 in my opinion. But I know, again, there are some people, again, there is not many, but there definitely are some people that don't think Fallout 4 is that good of a game at all. It's very, very hard to say. Fallout 4 might not be the best Fallout game, but in my opinion, it's the best, game for new players, etc. It's very, very hard to look at it, but some people have actually pointed out that Fallout 4's DLC, Far Harbor, might actually be better than Fallout 4, and the reason a lot of people are saying that is it actually kind of was more true to what Fallout is. For example, Fallout 4, a lot of people have had the very harsh criticisms of it, saying that it doesn't really have that much choice and consequence. Now, for example, you pretty much, there's 4 factions in the game, and 3 of them hate the Institute. So it's not, there's an extreme amount of factions in the game, and pretty much 3 of them have literally the same kind of aspects of, they don't like the Institute. Again, the Brotherhood of Steel, they hate the Institute, they can't stand them, they want to destroy them. The Railroad hate that the Institute are using synths as, toys and that they're props and whatnot. And then the Minutemen don't really, well, it's your opinion, really, if the Minutemen hate the Institute. You can just leave the Institute alone if you side with the Minutemen, or you can go and destroy them. It's really personal choice, but again, it is kind of a hard one when you do look at that. But when it does come to, when you think about it like that, only 3 out of 4 rather hate one of the factions. So there's not really that much choice, because if you just say there's 4 factions, you pick, one out of the 4 of them, you have a really 75% chance that that faction is not going to like the Institute, and you have to destroy the Institute. There's not really that much choice in that at all. And then the other option is the 25% is the Institute themselves, who, in my opinion, aren't morally right, and it's very hard to side with them. Again, there's not really any much consequence as well, because if you destroy the Institute on all of these things, it mostly benefits the Commonwealth, and nothing really bad, it comes out of it or anything like that. It's a really, really hard thing to, kind of go about. But again, when we do look at Far Harbor, there is a lot of choice and consequence. For example, if you side with, the children of Adam, then you pretty much go out and kill those at Far Harbor, destroy the whole entire town, and, turn off their fog condensers, and basically creatures will come and attack them, and you've just destroyed a whole entire town. Even if you do believe the ideologies of Children of Adam, you're still going out and killing hundreds of people in Far Harbor. While if you look at the vanilla game and you go and destroy the Institute, most of the time you actually don't kill them, you don't kill everyone at all. In fact, especially in the Minutemen ending, there is an option to actually sound the emergency alarm, and then everyone will leave the Institute, which means no one will die. Except for, some of the synths or something that stay back, and obviously Father, who was going to die anyway. So again, there's no real consequence there, in fact, in terms of, yes, you blow up the Institute, but everyone, survives. But in Far Harbor, if you side with the Children of Adam, then there's a consequence in terms of, you might think that siding with them is morally right, but you're just going out now and you're killing everybody in Far Harbor. While if you side with some of the Far Harbor people against Dima, then you go out and kill Dima, and you kill all of the other synths and, people that are living with Dima. Again, you're pretty much killing another whole entire town, well, not really town, but, group of people. There is a consequence to that, because yes, you can be like, well, again, I don't really think that synths are human and all of this type of stuff, plus Deem has done some messed up things. Let's go and destroy him. Let's go and end his life. But at the end of the day, whether or not you think they are robots or humans, you are killing a lot of innocent robots/humans that have never really done anything to anyone and have never caused any harm, and they're just looking for a better life. So again, maybe killing Demon might be morally right because he has done a lot of bad things, and you can stop him from doing further bad things, but also you're killing a lot of innocent people, or robots, however you like to, think about them. So again, there is a lot of consequence in Far Harbor. Not to mention that, there is a lot of choice. You can practically do every single ending. You can complete evil endings, you can complete, I think that the evil endings are, of course, siding with the children of Adam. I think it's a clear evil ending. Of course, I guess it is still my opinion, whether if you think it's an evil opinion or not, but in my opinion, it's an evil faction, and them going out and killing a lot of innocent lives at Far Harbor is an extremely evil thing to do. Again, morally, it's very evil, but when you side with the, again, Brotherhood of Steel or Institute, who would probably be looked at the two most evil, factions, you're not really, it's not as, it's not, even if you say, some people have their opinions on whether or not they're evil or not. Again, some of the things what the Institute does is evil, like, of course, kidnap some people and then, change them and replace them with a synth. Like, that is extremely evil. But they also do a lot of good things. And you can play as like a roleplay type of thing where you can be like, well, I'm the new leader. We're not going to kidnap people anymore, but we're going to help benefit the Commonwealth. Again, you could look at it like that, role-playing, which would mean that the Institute are not evil. But if you're looking at role-playing as in like the Children of Adam, then you're going to have to kill like those at Far Harbor for, again, the threats that they've been giving you and some of them wanting to come and kill the Children of Adam. Again, that is, again, pretty evil that you're killing some innocent lives, and it's not like you're doing it in self-defense. You go and turn off the fog condensers, which does kill them all. There is, again, a lot of evil things in Far Harbor. There's evil choices, and there's good choices. Of course, I think the morally best choice is probably to replace the High Confessor with a synth, because it kind of brings peace to everyone. The only person it's not really peaceful to is the High Confessor, and again, you can still, choose to keep him alive. So, again, there is a lot of choice and consequence that does lie in Fallout Far Harbor, which is, I think, a reason why a lot of people actually do love it more than, the original Fallout 4 base game. Another reason why a lot of people actually really like Far Harbor is actually, the quest and storyline that it does have. For example, in Fallout 4, you can't really necessarily role-play as this, character, because you're kind of playing a character that's already lived in terms of he was, he fought in the Great War, so clearly he's an army veteran, etc. He is who he is. You can pretty much tell what he most likely believes in, etc. While when you go to Far Harbor, all of that stuff about being, an army veteran and being in the Great War, etc., kind of gets thrown out the window, because you go to this new land that you've never known before, and he is you pretty much become a stranger. You become a stranger to everyone, to the point where you don't know anything, you've never been here, you've got no idea what's happening at Far Harbor, and you kind of go in this with, hey, anything I do now can be morally right or wrong up to how I think it is. But let's just say if you continue that on the Fallout vanilla character, where you kind of, come into this, you're an army veteran, etc., you're most likely going to be drawn to, like, I would think, the Minutemen and Brotherhood of Steel over, of course, maybe the Railroad. Again, that's just how I kind of feel about it. But when you look at, again, the Far Harbor, there's no real army type factions that you can join. So that makes it more realistic that he would consider all of his options, rather than the vanilla game, which would, he would most likely think about the Minutemen and the Brotherhood of Steel over like the Institute and Railroad, because of course the Minutemen and Brotherhood of Steel are more army orientated, and that's really everything that the Vault Dweller knew before he lost, or she lost, everything. So that makes the most amount of sense to me. That's how I like to kind of think about it. In my opinion, the Fallout 4 base game is probably still better than Far Harbor, but Far Harbor is arguably the best DLC in all of Fallout. It is one of the best ever. It has such a great story. This could have well have been a game. I think a lot more people would have rather this be a game than, of course, Fallout 76. But again, the map had to be, you know, a little bit smaller because it was an island, etc. But again, I feel like there were a lot more choice and consequence to do with Far Harbor over the original vanilla Fallout 4 game. But of course, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for all the latest gaming content and, gaming news, etc. Don't forget to subscribe to my sports channel and my IRL/long channels if you haven't already. I'll link them in the description down below, and please don't forget to check out my podcast as well. Maybe even go and check out some of my other Fallout content. Of course, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on everything I talked about in this video down below. Do you guys think the Fallout 4 Far Harbor is better than Fallout 4? Of course, let me know down below. But as I said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.